Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello and welcome, dummies. This is episode number 40 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Coolhand Luca Van Stratton. With me is Rodney Newpol in his luxurious living room. He's fired up for the Super Bowl. He's a candidate for MVP, apparently. What are your odds? What would you say your odds are to be the MVP of Super Bowl LAX?
Well, I mean, if guys like Harrison Butker and Jake Elliott have actual real odds, so can I, because kickers have no chance of winning the Super Bowl MVP. Absolutely no chance. So whatever their odds are, mine are right there with them. But yeah, welcome to episode 40. I love like round numbers, like new numbers. So we're in the fours, like 40. I love that. It would have been awesome if tonight's episode was like, I don't know, episode 77 or something. But you know, we'll stick with 40. But hey, man, plenty to talk about tonight. Going to be a great night to talk sports. And we talked Friday, and I was like, oh yeah, Super Bowl. We'll spend a lot of time on Super Bowl. You know, maybe we'll get to some NBA talk. But we got lots of NBA talk tonight.
Oh yes. Oh yes, I was worried. I was like, I'm going to have to do two full shows about Chiefs Eagles. Like, I don't know about you, but like I have been so checked out on all things Radio Row and Media Day. Like, and normally it's like, okay, whatever, just noise. But like, I am not paying 1 ounce of attention to it. And honestly, because of what transpired this weekend in the NBA, I'm not seeing any Super Bowl stuff like in my algorithm. Like normally I would see all the football stuff and I'd be seeing Super Bowl things, but like it is not at all at the forefront of conversation. Like it is Luka, and now it's, well, now what's next? What are now the dominoes that are going to fall because of that with Kevin Durant, with Jimmy Butler? Like now there's all these things, and it's like it has not just like totally taken people away from the Super Bowl, but it's also made people really, really energized about the NBA again. Like this was the move that people needed to like care about NBA, because like this is a sport that thrives on the transaction, right? Yeah. And we had grown kind of numb to all of the player movement, but like something like what we saw Saturday night was the exact thing that we needed to get us back. And now I'm all in. Now I don't care at all about like the weekend, because I'm just thinking about the NBA trade deadline on Thursday. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's kind of crazy. Because and really, I'm kind of the same way, more and not as involved with the NBA. I mean, I love what's going on in the NBA. Obviously, you're wearing a Lakers hat, so you're very invested in this. But like, let me ask you this one: even if the NBA stuff wasn't going on, is this Super Bowl matchup kind of boring?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think after the championship, like, people would have much rather seen Buffalo in this game than Kansas City. The three-peat stuff is cool, and the NFL is absolutely going to run with it. But would fans rather see Buffalo trying to go for their first Super Bowl, like to see Josh Allen in that spot again? Yeah, of course. I think we'd much rather see that. Yeah, like we just saw this 2 years ago. It was a good game. It was 38-35. It came down to the last minute. Like, it was exciting. Right. And if we get another game like that, then great. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't think that there's this anticipation that there would have been if the Lions were in it.
Yeah.
If Bills were in it. Like if the Ravens, like if Lamar Jackson was in this game, I think it's different. Certainly Jaden Daniels is a rookie. Like it's but like we saw the Eagles a couple years ago, seen the Chiefs, feels like every year for 7 years now.
Right.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
I mean, if it wasn't such a production, like if it wasn't literally the only thing going on Sunday, I don't know as if I would really be all that excited to watch it. I mean, at this point, like it's really your only option. Like, place is shut down. There's nothing else on. Like it is what you are doing on Sunday. But enough of that. Let's get to some of that NBA talk. You are a Lakers guy. So, okay. Saturday night, February 1st at 11 o'clock, A
I
little
was
bit
asleep.
odd.
I was asleep. I was asleep.
Yeah, so you woke up, saw our group text from not me, but from one of our buddies, and was like, "Well, wait a second here.
All right.
What is going
So
on?"
this is what happens. Yes, I go to bed at a reasonable hour. I try to Saturday night, and honestly, like I could have been up at 11 p.m., but no, wasn't in bed nice and early. Got a great night's sleep. I woke up Sunday around 6:20, 6:30 or so. I checked my phone. I had, and I'm not exaggerating here, I had 53 unread text messages. Now, for someone who's not a celebrity, like 53 is a lot of text messages to just see from various people, group chats. So it was like, yes, the group chat we're in, as well as like many, many others that I saw. Not to mention dozens of notifications from ESPN, from Bleacher Report, from The Athletic, like everything. And I I wish there was like a camera in my room to sort of see my face at that moment because it didn't feel real. I was like it was just like. So the first thing I did is I didn't even go on Twitter. I went to the living room and I turned on Sports Center, like as if this was 20 years ago, to be like, oh, I know Sports Center's talking about it. And I turned it on. And it was still a rerun of Sports Center at night.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't even like the new morning one. And it was there. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it probably took about a good 30 minutes for me to actually process like what just happened.
I'm glad that you stayed loyal with the mothership, though. Like that's cool to hear.
Yeah.
Like you went right to the mothership because like they get a lot of bad press. Like ESPN.
I checked NBA TV at the same time. Like when ESPN went to commercial, I checked NBA TV to see if they were talking about it, and it was just regular like game highlights. Like the word, it wasn't even on the bottom scroll of like breaking news. It was just old game highlights. I was like, I don't care about this Grizzlies game right now. I need to hear breakdowns of this.
Right.
So yeah, and I had ESPN off for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just Sports Center. Like it was the overnight and the morning version. But yeah, and it was like it was like before I even checked social media to see the reaction, is like that's where I went to. Like it was that type of move for me. I was like, is this real? I better throw on the news.
So yeah. So now you have another superstar there in Los Angeles. And while the Lakers probably aren't winning the title this year, now you've got that guy for the next 15 years?
Like certainly feels that way, right? Like you don't trade Luka Doncic, right?
Right.
I mean, it just happened, but yeah. So okay, so like it's been analyzed to death over the last few days at this point. Everyone's had their take. The overwhelming consensus here is that Dallas is on the losing end and by a wide margin. I think both of these things can be true. I think that the Lakers getting a player of Luka Doncic's caliber was just a total gift and something that shouldn't happen. Like we shouldn't see these types of players being moved for that type of deal, right? It just at his age with what he's done, it doesn't happen. That said, Anthony Davis is a really, really, really good basketball player. Yeah. And a lot of people just kind of glaze right over him and they go straight to Luka and they're acting like they just traded Kwame Brown or Hassan Whiteside or like whoever else. Like Anthony Davis was very likely to be in the mix for first team All NBA this year.
Yeah.
He's a great two-way player. And he's going to go to Dallas. And I think Dallas is going to be really good. And, a couple people have mentioned that Dallas might actually be better this year. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Well, Luka hasn't won anything since Christmas. So, yes, they're going to be better than they've been the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, Luka went out on Christmas, and they've been, I think, 7-14 since.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, once Anthony Davis' abdominal injury is better, but that's part of Anthony Davis. Like, how healthy are you going to find him? Right? Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
But from the Lakers' perspective, they now have a star for however long LeBron has, right? So it's LeBron and Luka, and then now once LeBron decides, okay, you know what, I'm going to call it quits after next year, or I'm done after 2 years, or you know what, I actually want to go team up with Steph and play in Golden State. Well, now the Lakers are covered. Now their entire franchise doesn't rest on whatever LeBron wants to do for his twilight years. They got Luka Doncic, and I know that there's people like, well, you know, Luka Doncic, he could actually forego the maximum extension here, and he could test for agency. You know, the Miami Heat are. Luka Doncic is going to be a Laker for 10 years at least.
Yeah,
like it's. I'm sorry to break the news to people, but like they don't make this deal and do it like, hey, you know, this is going to be a nice rental for a year and a half. No, he's going to be a Laker. He's going to have a 77 hanging in the rafters one day. Like that's what's going to happen. So like it's unbelievable that, and as a Laker fan, I could fully acknowledge this, how insanely lucky this team is to just continue to land superstar after superstar, to go effortlessly from Kobe to LeBron to Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Like it just like I'm not trying to overshadow it here, because there are a lot of fan bases right now that are just like praying for just a all-star, a face of the franchise to get, and the Lakers just seem to, whether you want to call it luck or whatever, like to just find a way to just keep it moving. And now Luka's going to be that guy for the foreseeable future. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I watched the press conference today. I was just laughing out loud because it's like, how is this real? How is this a real thing that happened? Doesn't make sense.
So we kind of already talked about Mavericks, Davis to the Mavericks and how they could get better. Do you think Dallas or your Lakers are done dealing in the next 36 hours or so? And then we'll kind of go to other NBA trades that might be brewing here over the next, again, 36 hours or so.
Well, so let me ask you this. So do you think right now who is more likely to reach the Western Conference Finals? Let's start there. Because OKC, no matter what, is the favorite in the West, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
So if you had to say right now, who would you like to win at least 2 playoff series, the Lakers or the Mavericks, as presently constructed without any other moves? So let's assume the Lakers don't get a center. It's Jackson Hayes as their starting center, right? Let's assume that the Mavericks, it's Kyrie, it's Anthony Davis, it's whatever's left of Klay Thompson, and that's their core. So who do you like more come postseason?
I'd probably take the Lakers.
Yeah,
I probably, so what's the timetable on? I mean, when's Luka going to join? When is he going to be on the court?
It won't be long.
Yeah.
It could be as soon as this weekend.
Yeah.
I know people have mentioned maybe Monday. It'll be before the All-Star break here, so I would say within a week.
Yeah, so I'm taking Luka and LeBron over Kyrie and Anthony Davis, and both very good. Both have a potential of being very good. So in your question, I'm taking the Lakers over Dallas with that construction.
What a lot of people aren't looking at, and maybe they are, and I've missed it, but like, let me know if you've seen a lot of this being talked about. This is the first time in LeBron James's entire life on Earth that he has not been the best basketball player on his own team.
Right. Can he handle it?
Right, like, so it's like, okay, how will he handle it? How does it change? Like, teams are going to throw their best defender not on him. They're going to throw it on Luka. So, like, I wonder if this is also like a situation where getting Luka Doncic allows the Lakers and LeBron to extend his career a little bit longer, because he doesn't have to be the number one, because he doesn't have to do everything. Like, it's going to be Luka's team. Luka's not there to be the number 2. He is the number 1. He's a better version of what LeBron is right now. 15 years younger. Like, LeBron's gonna be option 1B for the first time ever. I'm interested to see how that affects him, and if he's able to continue playing a little bit longer as a result of that, because he doesn't have to do everything.
How long can this dude extend his career? He's 40.
Okay, yeah, he's 40. He also put up like a 30-point triple-double just on Saturday against the Knicks.
At the Garden.
At the Garden.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Tom Brady was throwing for 5,000 yards and winning Super Bowls at 44 years old.
Yeah.
You're saying LeBron, no. You're saying if LeBron James said, you know what, I got 3 more years left in me, would you be surprised?
I would not be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. So I mean, I'll say I could see 2 more years at least with LeBron. And I don't know. We'll see. Maybe his assists will go down, but his points will go up. Who knows how this works? But
so let me ask you, what do the Lakers still need to do before Thursday's deadline?
I mean, not have Jackson Hayes as their starting center, probably. Rob Pelinka talked about it today in the press conference and said, "Listen, the market's kind of dry right now." I mean, Steven Adams, Nick Claxton, Robert Williams. I don't think DeAndre Ayton is really a fit. That doesn't really make too much sense. I mean, take your pick. There's a bunch of veteran centers out there now. Do you want one that is just a pure rental, just a body that you don't have to give up your first round pick for? Or are you like, hey, you know what? It's okay to trade this first round pick because we're getting Walker Kessler and he can actually be a staple on our team for the next however many years. Like, that's the question that they have to figure out. My guess is it's going to be a pretty cheap, uninspiring guy that's better than Hayes, but is just a short-term fix, and they figure out what to do in the offseason. Because they'll have cap space, especially next summer. Like, if LeBron, let's say LeBron is like, you know what, I'm done after next year. And then it's Luka and a couple other guys. I mean, they're gonna have a lot of cap space to work with to get a second star, to get a legitimate center. So they'll be in good shape. But I would say center for them, and then with Dallas, like Dallas is actually a pretty good group. They just got Caleb Martin today.
Yeah,
they traded your boy Quentin Grimes and a second round pick for him. There are rumors floating around that they're maybe in the Kevin Durant mix, which would be interesting to pair him with Kyrie again. I mean, Dallas is, I think it's shown based on getting Kyrie a couple years ago, trading Luka without anyone knowing, that they're a team that will surprise you.
Yeah,
and you could expect something wild from them at any given point in time. So, yeah, I would say Dallas is probably just looking for more shooters, looking for more wing guys, but they're not far off. They're not far off from being a real threat to OKC, at least for this year.
So then, obviously, we've spent quite a bit of time on this show talking Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
where's he ending up? Sounds like he declined to trade to Golden State. What does he want?
So the Golden State thing, I think, flamed out because Golden State doesn't want to extend him. I think Jimmy Butler wants to go somewhere and then get an extension. Miami doesn't want to extend him. So he's like, all right, well, then I don't want to be here. So why would then he go to Golden State and then the same thing happens? I think Golden State is just looking at all of these different options, and besides Jimmy Butler, it really honestly sounds like Jimmy Butler only wants to play for Phoenix. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Phoenix, why would Phoenix want to extend him?
Yeah, like they're already old. They already got Durant. Like
Beal's not young. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what team I think makes a lot of sense for Jimmy Butler?
Who's that?
Milwaukee.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I mentioned that. I mean, he's got roots there. That he could help them right away.
Yeah. We know that Chris Middleton, they're pretty much ready to move on from him. So I don't think it would be a deal that would be just Miami and Milwaukee. You probably have to get a third team in the mix, but you know how these NBA deals work with trying to get matching caps and all that nonsense. But if Milwaukee gets rid of Middleton, Portis, and picks, and they get Butler and maybe some other sort of kind of veteran body fill out, do you think that makes them a threat in the East with Cleveland, with Boston? It's Dame, it's Giannis, it's Butler. It's a good trio, and it's know what it is? It's a really good trio to have in the postseason.
Yeah.
Like if you're going up against Cleveland, right? Cleveland's a better basketball team, but like, all right, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland in crunch time versus buckets, Giannis, Dame.
Yeah. No, you're talking 3 dudes that can get buckets right at the end of the game, be clutch players. Yeah.
Dudes.
Yeah. No, that is a good fit. And Milwaukee's struggling a little bit right now. Yeah. I mean, with Middleton, Lillard, and Giannis all set the other night, they've lost 4 or 5 in a row. No, that's a great fit. But will Jimmy Butler go there? I mean, they've got. I mean, he's got third. What is it? Noon on Thursday. What is the deadline on Thursday?
I don't know what time it is exactly, but here's the thing. Also, who cares what Jimmy Butler wants?
No, but
with all due respect to Jimmy Butler, at this point, just find a deal for Miami and just make it happen. Like, what does it matter if Jimmy Butler is going to go and extend there? That's for his new team to figure out. I don't know why teams like give in to these stars to that extent. You're going to get rid of them anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
Is it just a respect thing? I don't know. I mean, if it was such a respectful relationship, you wouldn't have suspended him 3 times.
Yeah. Will Kevin Durant be traded?
All right. I feel like I run into this every year where we hear all of these amazing rumors, and then the deadline comes and goes, and the biggest name that gets traded is just George Hill.
Yeah.
Because he's just the guy that always gets traded. I don't think he's still playing though. But anyway. That said, I was just saying to you right before we were on the air today, I was like, I'm starting to get that hunch. And maybe it's just because I saw Luka Doncic get traded. We haven't talked about De'Aaron Fox. My God, San Antonio is going to be really good very soon. I was saying, like, I'm starting to think Kevin Durant's not going to be with Phoenix by the time the deadline rolls around. And I'm kind of leaning in that direction. Now, I know people are like, oh, is he going to reunite with Golden State? I don't think so. What feels more likely is one of the Texas teams like Houston or Dallas making a move with Kevin Durant. It seems like Houston is very aggressive. They have a really good team. They're a top 3 team in the West. They see what the Lakers just did. They see what Dallas is doing. They're like, I really think we have a good foundation, but we just need a star.
Yeah.
We need a star. Can we win a championship with Jalen Green as our second best player?
But, and I know we've talked about this before. Like, if you're Houston, you're up and coming. Right. This probably isn't your championship year, but you got this window. Do you really want to, implode it for a 35-year-old Kevin Durant? Now,
right.
If you could win the title this year, but Kevin Durant you're still not favorite in the West if you bring Kevin Durant in over to Houston. Like, you're a contender. You're not the favorite in the West. So, like, I don't know. Does that make sense for Houston?
That's the thing. And I don't know what a trade would even look like. But so let's say it costs you Amen Thompson, a couple other they're younger guys, but the team is essentially Van Vliet, Green, Durant, Şengün, right? I think they're still underdogs against OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Series with the Lakers would be close because it's still Luka and LeBron.
Yeah.
So and Durant is not a guy that's going to be with your team for a decade. It's a very short-term thing. So it's how if I'm Houston, I don't feel the need to blow it up and go all in this year. Like Şengün, Green, Thompson, like all those guys are like 22 and under.
Right.
It's not like they're in their window is about to close and this is the last hurrah here. It's just the beginning, right? It's like if OKC last year was like, hey, you know what? We're playing really well. Let's package Jalen Williams and a bunch of picks and get a veteran, whatever. Like, no, but they stayed the course and look where they're at right now. They're overwhelmingly the favorite in the West. And I think Houston probably wants to make a move, but I don't know if it's the best idea right now to just make a huge move to the point where everything just shifts.
So before we move on here, I see we have 300 eyeballs on the show right now, our biggest number that we've had halfway through a show. If you want to join the show, use the comment section. You can comment at any time. We'll get them posted on the show. And I mean, if you have comments, if you have questions on the NBA, we're going to move into Super Bowl prop bets here in a minute. But thank you all for joining us tonight. Our largest number will come through tonight. So again, thank you. One more thing here, Tim, on the NBA. If Dallas was to grab Kevin Durant, are they then the favorites in the West? because we're already talking about how dang good they could be with Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and kind of some pretty good players with them. Kevin Durant, now they're going to lose some of those pretty good players, but Kevin Durant as the third there, do they overtake Oklahoma City as the favorites in the West?
That's a good one. That's a really good question. Kyrie. Okay, so let's play it like this. So SGA versus Kyrie, you take SGA, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Jalen Williams, Kevin Durant. Jalen Williams is really good, but you go Kevin Durant.
I think I got to take Kevin Durant. Yeah.
Okay. Anthony Davis, you're going to take over Chet Holmgren, Hartenstein, whoever. OKC, I think, is going to have an advantage off the bench.
Yeah.
But
because Kevin Durant's going to hurt Dallas's bench.
Yeah. Dallas is probably a better shooting team.
Yes.
Especially when you had Durant there, right? That is a 7-game series, man. It really is. I don't have a clear lean either way. But Dallas certainly to me becomes the biggest threat to OKC if that happens. I don't think it would be close. So, they'd overtake Houston, overtake Memphis. Denver seems like they have issues. I'm surprised Denver's not more in the mix to try to solve some problems.
Yeah, because they're not even a contender. I mean, they're a top 5, but they're not even a contender in the West. Like we're talking all these other teams.
They're a contender because they have overwhelmingly the best player in basketball.
Yes.
It's why the Cavs with LeBron were always a contender because he was so much better than everyone else. It's the same with Jokic, but like I agree with you. I know what you're saying. It's just as constructed, that team is not making it to the finals.
One more thing, we were talking about SGA. I saw a stat today, and I wish I knew the numbers. SGA's moved into the top 10 already in NBA history in free throws made. Like, that's incredible because the dude's young. Like, is
that a good thing?
I don't know if it is, but it's kind of amazing to me that he's already getting there this many times. I don't know. Maybe that's a stat I can pull up the exact stat on Friday, but I thought that I was quite overwhelmed by that because like the guy's got a long career ahead of him. Like he's gonna easily be number 1 by the time he's done. But anyways, that's
at this rate, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he makes his free throws, but yeah, guy gets to the line a lot. It's probably not the most entertaining style of basketball. Like I've never watched him and thought this is a guy that is going to energize audiences.
Right.
I can say he's really good, but like no one wants to watch him shoot 19 free throws a game.
All right, we're going to move on to the Super Bowl because it is coming up on Sunday. So here's what I decided to do tonight. A lot of times you will put together a little rapid fire thing. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to go some prop bets. Now, these are pretty common prop bets, and I'm going to give you the prop bet. And I really want you to just come up with it don't have to be instant rapid fire, but a short answer as your answer and as to why here. All right. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be 10 of them, and we can discuss them as I'll let you answer, and then I'll throw my analysis out there. But 10 Super Bowl prop bets I wanted to talk about. Are you ready?
Yes. Hit me.
All right. So the first one is the whole elephant in the room every Super Bowl, the national anthem. Over under 121 seconds. So 2 minutes and a second. Are you going over or are you going under?
Well, Rodney, I'm assuming that because you put together this list, certainly you know who is singing the national anthem at this year's Super Bowl.
Do you know?
I had to look it up as you were asking the question.
Yeah, so it's John Batiste, yes.
Yeah, okay.
John Batiste. He's a New Orleans native.
Yep. I'm familiar with John Batiste. I know of his work. I think he leads the band on Stephen Colbert's show. I don't know if you watch that at all, but I'm a guy who typically goes over on these national anthems. I feel like whoever's singing it really likes to just savor the moments. So it feels like more often than not the over hits. I don't know the exact stats here, but just in my guts, My gut, no research, rapid reaction. I would say over. He's going to go over 2 minutes. He's in his hometown. He wants to really just go out there and get the stage all to himself.
Yeah. So my yes, I'm going over as well. I always take over on this one. I will never take under. It's like I'm not rooting for a short anthem. I'm rooting for a long anthem. I can hoot and holler until it gets that 121 seconds. My teenager will have his phone out. He'll time it for me. I'll carry on the notes for him. But I'm going to go 102. I'm going to go over 121 seconds.
It's that note, right? That long note that they always hit near the end. And it's like, come on, man. You just hold that thing as long as you can. I want you to get blue in the face. I need this over. Come on.
Yeah, yes. That's what I'm hoping for. So we're both going over there. Number 2, and some people will be annoyed by this one. Some people maybe not. Will Taylor Swift be shown during the anthem? Now, okay. No, so you're going no at minus 500.
No. Nope. I do not think so. I do not think they will show her. Not during the anthem. It'll be players, coaches, Nick Sirianni weeping again like we got a couple years ago. Flag, John Batiste, military, maybe flyover stuff. Well, I mean, they'll probably do a flyover even though it's a dome. I never understood why they still have those, like when no one can see it inside the stadium, but I digress. No, they're not going to show Taylor. Nope.
I love the plus money. I mean, this is like a Skeeter bet. He would always go the plus money. I'm not always a plus money in sports betting, but I think I am taking a small bet on the plus 350 here.
Do you know why they're not going to show her?
They don't want to trigger half the audience before the game even starts.
It's because, the NFL really loves this whole Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing, right? What happens if during the anthem, Taylor Swift doesn't have her hand on her heart? She's not singing along. What happens if, suddenly she makes a little comment to Brittany Mahomes about something? They're laughing about whatever during the anthem. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and you see how bad this would be? I bet Taylor's like, you do not show her at all during the anthem because it's like the last thing that you need is some sort of controversy there. So they're just going to ignore it altogether.
You're probably right. Or like she went back to her suite bathroom, to a bathroom in her suite, and then it started and she's walking back. So she's not even like focused on the flag.
Right. Like anything other than just that true attention, hand on the heart, just feeling just all the emotions of the moment. Anything less than that, and people are going to flip. So they're going to avoid it.
Number 3, will the first play of the Super Bowl be a run or a pass? So you got to think if it's the Eagles, you got to think if it's the Chiefs. We don't know who's going to win the coin toss. What are we doing here? Are we going run at minus 140? Or are we going pass at plus 110?
I'll take the plus money here. I'll go with a nice play action.
Okay.
Fake the run. And then, like if the Chiefs, it's real easy because it'll just be play action and then just a quick little dump off to Xavier Worthy for 8+ yards. Set the tone and then just go from there. But I'll take pass at plus money here.
Okay. I will also take pass. I obviously am hoping the Kansas City Chiefs get this because I think if you're the Eagles, like there's a good chance Saquon or Hurts is going to run the football here. But maybe what do they say? The first 10 or first 15 that they scripted, maybe Philadelphia thinks, Kansas City thinks we're going to run. We're going to be sneaky and pass.
Yeah.
I'll take the pass at plus 110 here as well.
Because it's so easy to fool Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah. You got him. You got him, Nick. You got him, Sirianni, right where you want him. All right. Number 4. Let me explain this one. First touchdown, his jersey number over under 15.5. So Saquon 26, Travis Kelce 87. Patrick Mahomes 15, Jalen Hurts 1, Xavier Worthy 1, right? Or 11. Ooh. Yeah.
He's 1, I think.
Yeah, but Kareem Hunt. So
this is a good one.
15.5.
I'm going to go under here. I think I'm going to go under. It could be one of those Hurts ass pushes for the touchdown, it could be a Worthy. I don't know. I keep going back to Xavier Worthy. Like, I'm kind of talking myself into making him the Super Bowl MVP. I think that he's going to have a monster game. So, one of those. Well, Devontae Smith too is what, 10?
Yeah, under. Yeah, AJ Brown.
Isn't he? What is AJ Brown?
I have to look this up.
Trying to these numbers, they used to be so easy.
11 for AJ.
11. Oh, dude, yes, yeah, under. Yeah, with Phil. So Philly, it's basically.
So you don't want Saquon.
Like anyone that's not Saquon, right?
Yeah, and Kansas City, you don't want Travis Kelce. Now those are two very popular picks for a touchdown.
Yeah,
very popular. But you got both quarterbacks on your under. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over. I think it's one of the dudes. I think it's one of the popular dudes. It's Saquon. It's Kelce, and if it's anybody random, I think I like my chances here because what is
you get like Hopkins? Noah Gray,
Hopkins. What's D Hop's number?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I barely see him.
Yeah, well, he might score.
I was gonna say you get Noah Gray at 83 or whatever he is.
Yeah,
that could be an option.
I'm trying
to look Calcaterra.
Hopkins is 8, so he's on your side. Yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna go with the over and eat that little bit of minus 130.
You're in good shape if it's one of the running backs though. You get Kareem Hunt or you get Saquon. Yeah. You win that one.
Yeah. All right, number 5. Patrick Mahomes' first pass distance. Now, this is the distance of the pass, not how far the guy goes with it after.
Okay, so just air yards.
Yes, air yards, 9.5. And it's both minus 110 over or under. You're taking it.
Now, hold on. First attempt, or does this have to be a completion?
We'll go attempt.
Okay. Regardless, under. Okay. I think he threw 2 passes maybe versus Buffalo that actually in the air went like more than 10 yards.
Okay.
It's under here. Short. Dink and dunk. Easy.
I will also go under. Here. I'm surprised it's 9.5. I'm surprised it's minus 110 there. I probably would have put this at more like 7.5.
Yeah, same. I would have had to think about it, but yeah. 9.5. No.
All right, next one. I find this one interesting, and I mean, I think I know our answer here. Will a 300+ pound man score a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Jalen Hurts.
Yes is plus 250 or plus 2,500. 25 to 1 for a yes touchdown. So, like,
can we weigh these guys so we know exactly who's 300? Because
I mean, it's going to be anybody on the line, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I could see Kansas City doing some bullshit though, where it's like it's one of those things where Mahomes is scrambling and then he does a little like underhand pass, or one of his patented like, oh, I'm going to throw a touchdown pass, but it doesn't look anything like I'm actually throwing the ball, and it's just to one of their linemen. It's just Creed Humphrey just suddenly has a touchdown, and then that's that. Yeah, for 2,500, I'll take yes. I'll throw a flyer on that.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, yeah, I'm not betting the no here. I'm either not doing it or I'm putting $1 on the 2,500 and saying, "Come on, big boys." Mike Shannon used to say it all the time. Come on, big boy. I love, rest in peace, Mike Shannon. But anyways, let's move to number 7. Saquon, your guy. Will he go for 150+ rushing yards only? This is not total yards. This is rushing yards only. You get plus 250 on the yes. You get no at minus 300.
So what's interesting here is obviously everyone's like, well, Kansas City is a very good defense, which is true. But also Kansas City plays a lot of close games.
Yeah.
So you have to imagine that this is going to be another game where, it's not like the Eagles find themselves down by 20 points in the second half and they need to abandon the run. and try to throw the ball because they need quick points. If anything, like the Eagles' offense is still just, oh, we're going to hand the ball off to Saquon because he can just change the game on any given play. At plus 250, I kind of like this. The only thing I want to see is just how running backs have fared in general against the Chiefs to see if anyone has run for 150 this year against them.
Yeah. So some of these we can come back to on Friday. These were done with no research done by you. So off the cuff, you are saying no?
So, okay. So I'm looking right now. Running backs versus Kansas City Chiefs. Is it Jerome Ford has the most against them at 84? That can't be right. Has no one run for more than 84 yards against the Chiefs?
I mean, it's Kansas City Chiefs. That wouldn't surprise me because, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, let's see. So this is from, the Chiefs allow just 4. Oh, that's just yards per catch. Never mind. Yeah, I did.
I mean, James Cook was 85 last week.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a pretty good
okay. So the most running backs just that they've allowed this year, and this is just not individual. This is a collection. They allowed 147 against Pittsburgh on Christmas.
To the combination of
combination,
Jaylen Warren and okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not very encouraging for this yes here.
So you're going to go no minus 300.
I mean, I'm never going to bet on anything that's minus 300, but I don't know if I would put yes. Ugh. Now I'm upset.
All right, so I like these on Super Bowl Sunday because there are some other games that go on, some other sports that go on earlier in the day. This is a cross sport. Who will Cade Cunningham have more points than Patrick Mahomes completions on Sunday? So I'll pull up the NBA schedule. The Detroit Pistons play the
Charlotte.
Oh man, you got a good one there. Detroit Pistons host the Charlotte Hornets at noon. Will Cade Cunningham score more points than Patrick Mahomes has completions on Sunday?
His last game against Charlotte scored only 18. He had a bad shooting night that night. But, I mean, he's averaging 25 plus. And what is Mahomes? What is Mahomes doing completion-wise? Like, what are his averages?
I'll pull that up. I mean, if you're thinking it's going to be down the stretch, they need him. He's going to throw the ball quite a bit there towards the end, right? I mean,
you know what? I'll take Mahomes completions here.
So, Mahomes completions. Why is it not showing as pass attempts? So he had 18 and 16 in his 2 playoff games. On Christmas against Pittsburgh, he had 29 and 28 against Houston the game before that. Mm-hmm. So he's looking regular season, he was looking mid-20s for the most part. Now playoffs, he's only averaging 17.
Yeah.
You still going more Mahomes completions?
I think so.
Then Cade Cunningham's going to score 20 points at least, right?
I do. So I'll take I could see Cade doing 22 points and Mahomes maybe having 24 25 completions.
Got it. All right. I'm going to take Cade Cunningham on this one. Minus 110.
I mean, he's got a good matchup. He's got a good matchup against Charlotte. I can't deny that.
So, I want to go off the cuff here. We have 17 messages from our free fantasy baseball league, and it's February.
What are they
arguing? It's February.
About?
It's February 4th, and it's a free league. And one of the guys we know says, "Sorry, I can't hear you over the echoing from the league's most decorated trophy room." Remind me, what type of medal is 4th place, guys? It's free.
It's a free league. Like
it's a free league. It's a free fantasy league, and he's got all these loser ass rules. Anyways,
like there's these spreadsheets. First of all, it's our least favorite draft, which is the long draft that takes weeks to complete. There's rules about the number of positions. There's rookie eligible players. There are rules that need to be voted upon each year. and none of the rules ever pass. So it's like the same sort of garbage structure, and just year after year. Guys will send you constant trades that are just brutal.
Yeah.
And then try to bully you because you just don't want to accept these awful trades that you're getting.
Yeah. All right. We got two more.
There's no joy in it. It's a terrible, terrible league. And I've been in it for like 6-7 years now. I don't know why.
Number 9. Will either team be down 14 plus points and come back and win? If you like the yes here, it's at plus 770.
I don't like the yes.
Yeah, same. I don't think it's going to be 14 points at any time.
I don't think so either. I think it'll be pretty close the entire way. Spoiler alert.
Friday. So we're not betting that one. Yeah, Friday we'll give our official pick, but nobody cares. Nobody cares about our pick because everybody else has given their pick. Like we're not influencing anybody on their Super Bowl pick Friday. I can pretty much guarantee that. But sign up for our Substack. We'll have all sorts of picks. Anyways, last one.
Gatorade. Yeah, Rodney. I finally found the running back information. So yeah, the most yards that the Chiefs defense has given up to a running back was in fact Jerome Ford, week 15. Jerome Ford had 7 carries for 84 yards. So clearly ripped off a big run there. And then the next were both Steeler running backs that week 17 game Christmas, 71 for Jalen Warren, 74 for Najee Harris. So Saquon Barkley essentially at 150, it's like doubling that.
Yeah.
Twice as good as the best running back has been. Because you look, Derrick Henry had 46 rushing yards. Bijan Robinson had 31. Alvin Kamara had 26. Bucky Irving had 24. James Cook in the regular season had 20. Joe Mixon had 57. That's bad.
You're going. If you're not betting this because we're not betting minus 300, but you do not like the plus 250.
No, I think it the number should be like plus 350, just based on the Chiefs' defense.
No. Yeah. All right, number 10, Gatorade color, purple's plus even money, yellow green's 200, blue 600, oranges I don't know, must be 750. I put 50. Red pink is 11 to 1, and if it's clear or water, it's 12 to 1. Thoughts here?
Easy. But I think it depends on who you think's going to win. Let's operate under the assumption that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, right?
So is that red? 11 to 1?
I think it's red. Yeah. I think it's the Chiefs. I think it's the Taylor Swift angle because this isn't that whole thing with red. I thought that there's some sort of connection with red that she has, but I think red at those odds, that's where I'm going.
I do like those odds. I'm surprised they're 11 to 1. Yellow green would be Eagles, right? I mean, if it's at 2 to 1 odds, those get really good odds. I don't know. What is the madness behind Gatorade on the sideline? Are there all the different flavors over there? And then did they just grab one?
That's a good question. Yeah, I've never really thought about that because is it just like, hey guys, I need you to all come up collectively with what's your favorite flavor of Gatorade, or is it like, hey, this guy likes purple, this guy likes orange? Personally, I definitely have Gatorades I like more than other flavors. I would prefer to have my own, and I'm sure they can afford to have multiple Gatorade coolers.
Yeah, I mean they're not taking a vote. They're not coming up with one out of the 88 guys that are on the sideline or whatever the hell it is. So there's probably multiple, but then so there's probably a sideline manager, an equipment manager, or whatever, and he's taking care of all of that. And then as the game winds down and your team's going to win, I feel like one's just grabbed, right? I understand that this bet over any of them can really be rigged. The equipment manager for the Chiefs or the Eagles looks at these odds and was like, hey, I'm going to have – and then if he remembers, he can give you the one, here you go. But, who's to say that guy's even going to be available? Because, what if this game comes down to the last 2 minutes? The equipment manager is probably not over there I got to save this one. This is a red one. I don't know. Like there's a lot of questions I have here.
Now, and then let me throw this at you. So in the scenario where there are multiple Gatorade coolers, right? We always see that there are a couple teammates who are the ones who grab the cooler and then they dump it on the coach. What happens if there are another 2 or 3 teammates that grab a different cooler?
Yeah.
And then they're about to gum up on Andy Reid, and then they see, oh, wait a minute, they're coming up on a different cooler. How do they settle that? What happens if they're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's dump them both. And then you get purple and you get orange.
Well,
then what happens? How do you handle that, Vegas? Like, tell me what happens there. It's like, well, we both got coolers. We might as well dump them both here because how are we going to choose who gets to do it? This is where the plan starts to fall apart here.
My guess is they void the bets. I also wonder.
Could you imagine, like, how stupid is that? Be like, oh, due to the Gatorade,
I mean, but like
Gatorade controversy, we have to void your bet.
There's been years where like people don't know,
yeah,
or like what if it's a walk off? Like,
yeah,
is there even any Gatorade poured? Because like, let's say the Eagles went on a walk off, like overtime or final seconds, they get it literally final second, they get in the end zone. Yeah. Like Nick Sirianni's going crazy. Like he's just screaming around that place. Mm-hmm. So like to be able to go get him to chase him down, like Andy Reid ain't going nowhere. Right? Like they'll catch it. But like Sirianni probably nowhere in sight. So like, is there going to be one?
Another scenario here. Let me know. And I feel like you're real good at knowing how the books would handle this. Eagles score a touchdown. 5 seconds left.
Yeah, this might happen too.
They're celebrating. They dump it on Sirianni before they even do the kickoff because they're like, of course, we got this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Chiefs get the ball because let's say Jake Elliott screws up, kicks it out of bounds. Boom, Chiefs start on the 40-yard line. It's 5 seconds left. Mahomes is able to get 20 yards in 3 seconds, 2 seconds left. And then they score a touchdown last play of the game or field goal, whatever, to win. And they win. Now, Sirianni got dumped on.
Yeah.
At that point, Andy Reid, like, because of the celebration, whatever, like, I don't think he gets dumped on. I think there's just too much pandemonium. So, do they settle it? It's like, well, the Gatorade was dumped, but it was dumped on the losing coach.
Right.
So, do they specify, like, does it have to be dumped on the winning coach of the Super Bowl?
I believe the terminology does say winning coach.
Right. So then it just doesn't happen. So Sirianni gets dumped by whatever. You probably got people thinking they won, but turns out they didn't because wasn't the winning coach.
Yeah. And many times you don't see it on TV too.
Right.
Because there's something else going on. But no, that's a good one. And possible.
It's possible. Like if there's one team and one coach that is a premature Gatorade dump, it's going to be Nick Sirianni's Eagles.
Right. Like, he's going to do it himself. Like he's going to walk. He's going to walk over there, get the cooler, and just
on himself. And Jalen Hurts is just going to have to go up to him and be like, "Coach,
no, Coach, that's not how we behave."
But that was Super Bowl 2 years ago, right? Where Sirianni was like jawed off, and Jalen's like, "No,
don't do that, bro. Don't." That's a good one. And I like that actually the Eagles score to go up like 2 because Mahomes gets 5 seconds, gets him 30 yards, and Bucker gets a 58-yard field goal.
I mean, like that's how it would play out, right? It would be they start at the 40 because Jake Elliott kicks it out of bounds like a doofus, right? Then they're able to just gain enough yards, less than 5 seconds, because Kelsey's wide open somehow. And then Harrison Butker kicks it 47 yards to
actually what would be best is in that 5 seconds a pass interference call, an offensive pass interference. Like
I mean, it's almost like we had that happen 2 years ago with these teams.
Like Mahomes literally take over 5 seconds to get the ball off, and so the game would be over. But no.
Yeah,
at the 42-yard line. We had offensive or defensive pass interference. So now Butker gets a 58-yarder. Boom, winner.
Boom.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
And Sirianni is just wet and sad.
and
I think
fired.
that, you know what? That is
That's
how
what
I
you
want
want.
this to go. This would be the perfect Super Bowl for me. After 2 weeks of just dreading this, that's what I want. I want the Eagles to think they've won. I want Sirianni to get drenched, whether it's by his team or by himself, and then they lose, and then he just has to be wet and inconsolable. That to me is the perfect. That's the storybook ending that I think the NFL needs. Not any of this Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce proposal bullshit. Like this is how I want the season to end.
All right, so that does it for our prop bets. On Friday, we'll talk more Super Bowl and obviously probably break down any more NBA trades that happened. But much more Super Bowl talk on Friday. Let's get to the best 40s in sports, why don't we? Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we get to the 40s in sports? We're about an hour in. I think we're all just shy of 600 visitors tonight. I think we've hit our. Yeah, it is. It's about double. It's double over our most. So thank you, everybody. No, not very many comments tonight, but maybe next time you guys can join us. But anything else before we get to the best 40s?
No, just thank you to everyone who was listening. Who I would assume that the lack of comments simply means that we're just so engaging and captivating that people didn't even take the time to comment because they're just glued to us and glued to our opinions and our analysis. I feel like we've entertained a lot of people today, and I'm very thankful for that.
All 594 eyeballs on right now, 595 now. Let's see. So anyway, so let's get to the best 40s in sports. This is our 40th show, and the one that comes to mind for me in the NFL is Bears legend Gale Sayers, number 40. That's a big one. That's a good one. It's going to be hard to beat that one, right? Like, do you have a better 40?
I'll give you a couple NBA ones here. I don't know if it's going to beat Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
Unless you think Harrison Barnes is worthy.
No, but what about Calbert Cheaney?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Calbert Cheaney is?
Why would I? Who's Calbert Cheaney?
Played 13 seasons in the NBA, bro.
What years?
Oh, it would have been probably 80s and 90s. But I thought he may not have made an All-Star game. No, I'd have to take a look at that. He went to Indiana, so kind of a Midwestern legend. But Calbert Cheaney wore 40. I know the Midwestern people, the true Midwestern people that grew up here, know who Calbert Cheaney is. Number 40.
All right. I got two better NBA ones for you.
Okay.
Bill Laimbeer.
Okay, good one.
Sean Kemp.
Oh, really good one. And 40 might be the number of kids he has as well.
Yes. And maybe number of arrests too.
Right? Yeah. National Hockey League. Quick search has me going with Henrik Zetterberg.
Ooh.
Donned number 14. Number 40 is 15-year NHL career.
Tuukka Rask is number 40.
Tuukka Rask, kind of a bust, no?
Tuukka Rask?
No, I thought
Are you? I don't think we're talking about the same Tuukka Rask, unless you know another Tuukka Rask who was a bust. I don't think Tuukka Rask from the Bruins was a bust.
Yeah, never got to that. Never won that cup though.
Well, no, he was a backup when they won the cup.
Okay, so he got one. All right, I'll give him credit. Nope, not a bust then. Tim proves me wrong once again. Not a bust, but I thought he should be better than he was.
He won the Vezina Trophy.
Yeah, it's overrated.
What do you mean? Yeah. Hey, this is the trophy for being the best goalie in the league. Oh, overrated goalie, says Rodney. What does that even mean, dude?
I believe former Chicago Cubs pitcher Rick Sutcliffe was number 40 as well. So Gale Sayers, Sean Kemp, Rick Sutcliffe, Tuukka Rask will be our Mount Rushmore of the four sports for number 40, right?
Bartolo Colon was 40 for I think like most of the teams he played for.
Yeah, so if we're putting the Mount Rushmore together, Gale Sayers is our NFL guy, period.
Yeah, Gale Sayers.
Sean Kemp is our NBA guy.
Sean Kemp, I'll do that.
Tuukka Rask over Henrik Zetterberg, yes.
It's close. It's close.
We can do like a co-face on that.
Yeah.
And then MLB, we could go Rick Sutcliffe or Bartolo Colon.
or Madison Bumgarner?
I mean, it probably depends on what age of the person you're talking to. Younger people are going Madison Bumgarner. Older people are probably going Rick Sutcliffe.
By WAR on, because like Baseball Reference, I've discovered, because I've refused to go on ranker.com. I started going on Baseball Reference and looking up MLB players who wore number 40, and you could search, and you could rank it by WAR to just see like who the best players were that wore that uniform. But it also shows you how many years. Like Brooks Robinson was 40, but he was only number 40 for a season, right? Doesn't really count. But like the main ones ranked by WAR is Bartolo Colon, followed by Bumgarner, followed by Rick Weiss, followed by Rick Sutcliffe.
Okay.
So those are like your top 4. And then Andy Bennis is also like 14 seasons is number 40 as well.
Bennis. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Former St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, are officially the last team to sign a Major League Baseball free agent. The Minnesota Twins grabbed one today. St. Louis Cardinals still 0. Have not signed a single player to improve their roster.
But hey, at least they don't have Jim Edmonds on their broadcasts anymore. So
yeah, that's a difference. We'll get to that after some of this stuff dies down, because I've got plenty of baseball banter to talk about. But anyway, sign up for our Substack. So I came into tonight at 20 units ahead this calendar year. Now,
talk your shit, bro.
Yesterday I took a little bit of a dive. I lost 2.7 units. February I'm up over 6 units. Go to the Substack, find the picks. We're not selling them. They're free picks. Fade or follow as you wish. There they are. Some of my picks tonight: Lightning, Islanders, 76ers. I took the Cavaliers. That's not going to fare well for me. Several college games as well. So head over, sign up for our Substack. Follow us on Twitter, not X. No W on the end. Stupid Sports Show with no W. Not doing a ton there, but we will as the year goes along.
Enough. I bet most of our viewing audience is coming through that right now. So just give us a follow, and you'll get notifications whenever we go live. And yeah.
All right, your turn. You're really good at this next part.
Oh, thank you. In case you've missed any of the 40th episode or any of our previous 39 episodes, and you have a real hankering to go back and live in the past, you can listen to any episode of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth, wherever you get your podcasts. We're talking Spotify, talking Apple, talking iHeart. I want to see those numbers pump up. I want to see the subscriptions. I want to see the rates and the reviews. I want to see mean, hurtful comments followed by really nice, endearing ones. I want to see it all. So make sure to like, rate, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Comes out pretty much like right after we are done on the air too. So like, I don't know, I would say right when we sign off, within a half hour or so, it'll be up on all of your podcast services. Same for our Friday morning show, which, Rodney, I don't know if you know this, we do 2 shows every week, Tuesday night and Friday morning. Pretty cool to me.
Yeah, so if you got something you want to listen to for the last hour before you go to sleep tonight, that takes me back to, Tim, you remember the Put the Kids to Bed show?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we got 40 of those in before we finished up. I don't think we got 40 of those. So this one is outlasting it. We actually had a couple different co-hosts in that one. Kind of a cool show, but this one's so much cooler. The Put the Kids to Bed show was kind of fun for a while.
I did like the See Ya list.
See Ya list. That is, yes, that's the origination of our running See Ya's that have been going on for a long time and still go on in our group chat. Anytime somebody goes somewhere, obviously not talking death, although we do have a friend that wants to see a death. It's like, no,
it's the most inappropriate See Ya's. Like, you can't just see someone dying.
No, that's a little inappropriate.
But like injuries, 100% go for it. Firing, absolutely. Trades, absolutely. Released, yeah. Pretty much anything that isn't actual death.
Actual death. If they're gone from the team or the league or anywhere, it's a See Ya. Yeah, the See Ya list was good, but it took some time. It took some time to come up with the See Ya list.
Yes, what I would have to do is I would have to keep a running track on my phone. So anytime there was any sort of like See Ya happening, I would just put the name down on a notes on my notes app, and I would have to save it, and then I would just run through them all like for our show.
I love it. I love it. The dedication is fantastic. So I love the Lakers. I love the Lakers lid you got on here. You're celebrating Luka to the Lakers. That's the big story. And I'm excited to grab some Luka jerseys coming up. I might even I'll have to wear something underneath, but I might even wear one.
He's not even playing tonight, but he's there. The Lakers are playing the Clippers, and the Lakers are winning 73-50 at halftime.
Of course they are.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
We're so back.
Yeah, the Lakers are back. I am excited to see him and LeBron on the same court. That'll be fun. So, anyways, all right, take us home. Get us out of here. Everybody, thanks. 624 listeners. Thank you tonight.
Awesome. Yes. And expect a very fun show on Friday morning because we are going to be talking Super Bowl. Rodney is I don't want to spoil anything for our official picks, but I have a feeling that you and I are going to have some different approaches to how we see this game playing out. So I'm really excited to talk about it. And also, hopefully we're like, hey, before we get to Super Bowl stuff, Kevin Durant and LeBron James are now on the Warriors with Steph Curry. And like, who knows?
That would be interesting if we had more big trades Thursday. Friday's show would be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's get on out of here. This was fun.
See ya.
All right. See you guys. This was the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. He's Rodney. I'm Tim. Cool Hand Luca Van Stratton. It's my nickname, by the way. No one else's. Can't think of who else's it would be. But we'll be back for episode 41 Friday morning, 8 a.m. Central, right here on Twitter, on YouTube as well. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.